Hello, hello, it's June Olson with Junebug Creations, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you live from Kalispell, Montana, and welcome to Junebug's Creative Crush Live, where we shine the spotlight on something that's stealing my heart this week. So let's see what I'm crushing on right now, because I can't stop playing with this, and I still have more ideas in my head to play with and do and make with this suite. So this is the Moonlit Flora Suite. I'll show you the inside of the catalog part first. If you don't have a catalog and you want a catalog and you don't already have your own demonstrator and would like to be part of my crafty community by having a catalog, just let me know in the comments catalog, and I will reach out to you to get your address to send you one. I still have plenty of them. I would love to ship them out. I don't like them sitting on my shelf, obviously, and they have so much inspiration in them. So here is the Moonlit Flora. It is the papers, it is the embossing folder, which I will show you, it is the stamps and dies, and then these wonderful dewdrop embellishments. And you can see they've given you some ideas of what you could do with it. They tell you the name of the colors that are in it. Hang on, I got something in the way there. They have the colors: Golden Glow, Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, Peaceful Pine, Secret Sea, and Berry Burst. And I love that pop of Berry Burst. To me, that is just the best, because that's my favorite color of our colors. Yes, I love purples, but ultimately the berry is really, truly the one that steals my heart, especially in our Stampin' Up! Colors. So they made a little box here that's super cute, and then two different cards. So we're going to make a few cards tonight, or two cards tonight, but I have a ton of cards to show you because this paper has been so inspirational. All right, so these are the dewdrops. So there's some clear ones, the Old Olive ones, and the Secret Sea ones. Love those. And then here is the embossing folder, and you'll see it in a variety of different ways. Isn't it amazing? Oh my gosh. And I just learned that these things are called fiddleheads. I had no idea. I just thought they were always so cool when I saw them in a forest. So do you like being, hi Beth, great to have you on here. Do you like walking through the forest and seeing all these varieties of ferns? I grew up going to Germany and walking in the forest there, so there were lots of ferns. And now living in Montana, when you go in the forest, there's just so many ferns, and I love it. So here is the stamp set and the dies, or here are the stamp set and the dies, if we're going to use proper English. Here are the dies, and of course this is a smaller photo of them. You can see I've pulled some off, but there's still a variety, and many of them have coordinating dies. So this one has a coordinating die. This one has a coordinating die. Both of the moths have coordinating dies. This one has a coordinating die, and this one has a coordinating die, and this one has a coordinating die. So all the images have coordinating dies, plus we have extra dies, and these little bow tie things that you can see here, those create flowers, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And these itty bitty teeny weeny things are the flower centers. And let me tell you, if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I am not big on tedious, but these are just too wonderful to pass up. So we're actually making both of the cards that we're making tonight. I'm doing those tedious little flowers, but you'll see why in just a little bit. So we're going to do a little bit of die cutting because I'm stamping a few things, and then we'll need to die cut. So I'm going to keep these close. Now here's the paper. Oh, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And I wouldn't have thought that I would like the moths. And we have these little white ones all over the place. But moths seem to be trending right now. I don't know what it is. We have another kit that has a moth in it as well. So there's this page, which is gorgeous. And you'll see I did something with this. I was inspired by Lena Gersa for that. And then this side, I'll just put the paper up there. And then there's this one, which I think I also used, and it's just beautiful. I just love it. And then of course this side with the berry burst. Beth, do you love this paper? Do you have this paper? I can't get enough of it. And then this side. And then of course this is one of my favorite ones. With all these little flowers. I love it because it's non-directional, so you can use it for just about anything, and I'll show you something I did with it. And then this one, and then there's this one, which I love because it has the pop of white, and then the secret C on the back. And then we have this one with the golden glow flowers. Oh, I just love it. And this one. All right, and then these are just my scraps. So let me just tell you the colors again. Basic black, berry burst, golden glow, mossy meadow, old olive, peaceful pine, pecan pie, secret sea, and soft seafoam. Those are all the colors listed in here. And it's just amazing paper. So I'm going to start off by making a card with you, and then I'm going to show you some cards, and then I'm going to make another card with you. So I made this card using the stamp, and then using some Stampin' Blends, and then here are those itty bitty flowers, and I put some Wink of Stella on them. Okay, not much of a fan of moths or ferns, but the paper is beautiful. Okay, all right, I can get that. I can be on board with that. It's not for everybody, so I just used a little bit of the paper, but on this card I wanted to kind of showcase some of the stamps. So we're going to go ahead and make this one, and then on the inside I stamped those moths, but I didn't keep them all white. I added a little berry burst, and I wanted to show you how to do that so it wasn't necessarily solid. So let's get everything out of here, because like I said, we have all those itty bitty pieces. All right, so we're going to start with, now this one I realized I had cut it and did it as a A-frame card, and this one I ended up cutting this way. Now one of the new techniques, or not techniques, tips that I learned from a teammate of mine, Mary Beth, she saw it somewhere else, to use this for folding the card. I don't score this at 4 1/4 anymore because sometimes it's right and sometimes it's wrong. And so now I just keep it like that, and I line up the side edges, and then I use my thumb, and then I grab my bone folder and I crease it. All right, and I'm just finding that really, I used to just line it up with my thumb, and now I'm like, oh, this is way better. And another use for your trimmer. Don't we always look for more uses for our trimmer? All right, so we have this card here, and then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be laying these across, and we'll cut them off. But I just remembered, before we do that, we need to ink and stamp. So we're going to take our secret C, because this is a secret C, and I'm going to get a piece of scratch paper so I don't have to clean my glass mat, and we're going to just stamp a little bit on here, ink this up, and I'm just going to stamp. Oh, okay, well that's going to be covered a little bit. Wow, hang on to it. So the easiest way, oh, it got a hair in there. Ah, there we go. Wow. All right, good thing I have this wonderful chamois cloth that came with my glass mat, because now I can get all this secret C off of me. Wow. Okay. Let's try that again. All right, so when you have the bigger block, sometimes it's easier to ink it this way, but you still have to hang on to that block so that you don't drop it like I did. All right, and then I'm going to do this way. And then we're going to do one coming down this way. There's no right or wrong way to stamp this. It is completely and totally your preference. You can put it all in, or you can have part of it off. Now you know that you're going to be covering this part, so you don't have to worry about filling in that. But I like to make sure to fill in some of the little spots. So I typically will ink up part of it and bring it in like that, and ink up another part of it and bring it in like that, just so that I don't have any blank spots. All right, so I know I'm going to be putting something here, so I want to do something in that corner, and I can ink up a different part of the stamp and do that. It doesn't always have to be the top of the fern. All right, so we're going to put that away. Now let's bring in these, and I'm going to start on top with this one. Actually, this time I'm going to put this on bottom because I noticed that the ferns cover it, and I really like all those little flowers. So I'm going to start with this one and then use the berry burst. Then we'll go with this one, and then we'll have this one, and that way most of this one will show. So what I did is I took my glue, and instead of gluing all those, because I didn't know, I didn't want to cut them, I just started with a line of glue. Right, well, come on. I just started with a, oh boy. I don't go live on Saturdays very often, but man, this one's giving me a run for my money. All right, so I did a line like this, and then I kind of covered it in, and then I did another one, and then I just started laying papers. So I said I wanted to do this leafy one first. So we're going to line that up right across there like that. And then the berry burst one, butt it up right against it like that. All right, and then I need a little more glue. All right, so then I'm going to go with the other green leafy one, like that, and then this one right there like that. So for the most part, I covered up my little blooper. There's a little blooper here, but I don't think anyone's going to notice that. I'm trying to rub off the glue. You like the background stamp like that? Yeah, it just kind of brings it out and makes it subtle. The tone on tone is such a subtle look that I really like it. I know you've been with me for a while. You know we've done tone on tone a number of times. And in my lives, I tend to do tone on tone as well. So I have this that can go in the trash or the recycle, but then I still have these that could be used for something. So they'll go back into the paper pack. All right, so now I'm going to set that aside for a moment, and we're going to take, oh, don't want to lose these little babies. We're going to take this and we're going to put these on here as we do more stamping. All right, so we're going to, whoop, I forgot my old olive. All right, so we're going to start with the old olive. Oh, Mossy Meadow, that's what I wanted. My apologies. Mossy Meadow, my darker green, not the bright green. All right, so we're going to start with the Mossy Meadow. Oh, well, all right, we already have Secret Sea on here, so I guess we're starting with the Secret Sea. No point in washing it and then getting it re-inked like that. So this one we're going to stamp over here like that. And then I want to wash it off because we're going to switch colors. And then I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow, like that. And we're going to do that on that side. And normally I would squish it a lot closer together so I'm not wasting any paper, because that's the way I usually do things. But tonight I just kind of wanted to get this done and not have to worry about that. All right, so then this one, we're going to take our Secret Sea and our Berry Burst. Actually, we've got some moths to do on here, or a moth to do. We're going to take our Berry Burst, and we're going to take that little frame and stamp it like that. I find it easier to stamp and then die cut. Some people like to do it the other way around. I am not one of those. And we're going to use the You're an Amazing Friend. I have lots of those. I need to start sending cards out again. I've kind of been on a hiatus from that just because I've had so much going on. It's time to get back to it. So You're an Amazing Friend. And then we have a moth that we're going to stamp in the Secret Sea right there. And while we have it all out, we're going to put some moths on our inside. And this is smaller than usual. I cut this at 3.5 by 4 3/4 because I just wanted, well, this one was a little bit bigger, but I just kind of like having the paper show. And I don't tend to write a whole lot in the cards. So we're going to do one down here, and then we'll do one flying over here and one flying over there. All right. So now what we need is our Berry Burst. This is the light Berry Burst. We're going to use the bullet end, and I'm going to go ahead and come in and zoom in for you. So you can see here how there's some light dots, some stippling in there. What we're going to do is we're going to stipple in some color. You wouldn't want to solidly color it in because then that would kind of hide it. And I don't really want a solid Berry Burst colored moth. So I just want to add a little color. So I'm just going to copy this and do some dots in that same area. So instead of having solid white ones, we just have a little bit of Berry Burst, and we're just doing some little dots. All right, not solid lines, just some dots. All right, there we go. Some more. And it doesn't even have to be as many dots as there are. You're just doing some dots in there, and you can see how it gives it a nice little bit of color, but not solid. All right, so we're going to do that on this one too. Oops. Trying to stay in the lines though. All right. Then we have our light Mossy Meadow and our light Secret Sea. And what I did for this, so you can see, this is a little bit colored in, the stamp is not. So with the brush end of this, I'm just kind of flicking up the center a little. So I don't want to color it in all the way. I'm just flicking up the center a bit, just to give it a little bit more color so it's not all white, but I didn't want to necessarily color it in. Okay, so, and I should have probably done the magic of TV thing and pre-done this for you. but I wanted to be able to show you. And you can see it doesn't take very long because we're not coloring it in. We're just kind of giving some color to coming off the base of it. All right. So it's just, I'm kind of like doing little check marks. So little swishes. And this is with the brush end, and I'm using the light mossy meadow. And I just liked how it gave it a little bit more color without being solidly green. I'm just learning that having a little bit of white is really not a bad thing. There we go. Oops, I forgot one whole thingy of leaves. There you go. So it just kind of gave it a little bit of life without being solidly filled in. So then we're going to do the same thing. Oops, brush end with our Secret Sea. And of course, the darker it gets, the more you don't want to have it solidly filled in. Or at least I don't want to have it solidly filled in. So, that one got a little bit more. And you can play around with it and decide. This wasn't anything that I saw anywhere. It was just something I started playing with the other night, and I thought, oh, I kind of like how that looks. So what do you think? Do you like it with the white, or do you think you would prefer it solidly colored in? There we go. This Secret Sea is super dark. Some people call it the new black. I definitely do use it quite a bit. I have discovered because my mementos are starting to dry out, so I am kind of using it as my new black. I haven't decided. Well, I don't mind the hybrid. I like the fact that it is a good solid black. I don't care for the fact that it dyes my stamps. That's the part I'm not liking. So I haven't used it as much as I thought I would. I've been using the Secret Sea. All right, so I brought in my mini. Woo, you don't need to see it that up close and personal. I brought in my mini because all of these dies work on the mini. So I'm going to cut this one first. Where did I put my dice? Oh, they're over here. Oh shoot. Yep, I did it. Oh, I still have the littles. Oh, maybe I haven't lost anything after all. Nope, I got it all. Whew, better put that someplace safer than on the dies. All right, so we are going to use this die and this die and this die this time around. So did I bring over? I forgot to bring a little Post-it. Let me grab. See, I knew I had grabbed my Post-it tape. I just apparently had not brought it all the way over here. So here we go. Beth and I were in card club today. I'm surprised you're on and not tired of seeing me, Beth. You like the backgrounds? Okay, not sure. Think it's better with white. Yeah, I think so too. I think without the white, it would just feel really heavy. So I'm going to tie these two together. Oh wow, that one spun right in the right spot. All right, so then we're going to put this on there and run it through. I love it when the dies fit on the mini because then I don't have to haul the big machine over here for everything. All right, and then we're going to cut this one. And it fits perfectly. You want to be able to see the whole thing and not have any edges. No white showing, just your edges of your stamped image. It used to be that you would see the white, so then it had an even bigger border. And now they have it to where you put it right up to the image, and I really loved when they switched to that kind of thing. Sometimes changes are really good. Sometimes maybe not, but most of the times when they make a change, I do like the improvement. All right, so, and this with the dies, that gave you less of a border. That was a great change. That was a really great change when they switched to doing that. It took some time to get used to how to put them on, though. That's for sure. All right, so we can fold this up. I love that this is foldable. It's easy. It's super light compared to the big one. But again, with the big one, you can use anything on it. And with the little one, you can't. Like that 6x6 embossing folder, I would not be able to use that on my mini. But for dies, it's perfect. All right, we'll move that out of the way. So there we have that. We'll move these out of the way. We have our moth and our, oh, that's a little crooked. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. We've got it. Okay, so let me get my, should have all this stuff. I should just have duplicate of everything, one on this side, one on that side, so I don't always have to go back and forth. So here we have our little silicone mat, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to show you how to do these flowers because they're teeny tiny. They are teeny tiny. So let's get zoomed in. There we go. Now you're going to want to take your pick tool for sure. And it's the putty end that you're going to want. All right, so we're going to put this here and we're going to turn all these right side up. All these right side up. Now these look like little bow ties, but they're not. And we need those right side up. Come on, there we go. There we go. And there we go. All right, so the two big bows go together. The two little bows go together. And the two, this funky thing goes with this little cup one. And then the big inside goes with the big inside. The little inside center, and this one goes with this one. Now they go together a little differently than you might think they go together. So what I like to do is I first put my dab of glue on the bottom one. And that to me is the skinnier one. So the dab of glue and a dab of glue, which now you can see why I'm using this. And this one is the fatter bowl. All right, so then I'm going to take my thing and I'm going to put it on here and I'm going to turn it that way. Okay, and I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it on here and I'm going to turn it that way. So they cross over each other. All right, and then this one just sits, ooh, here we go, right, all right, here we go, hold on, right there, like that. All right, then we're going to put another dab of glue in the center. And in the center, oh, that one got a little bit wonky. Here we go. And then in the center. And then we're going to put our centers on. And then this one goes here. And this one goes here. All right, so not too bad, really. When you first look at it and you see all those little pieces, and when we were on stage, and I'll show you what we made it on stage, Oh my gosh, we were so confused as to what the heck. You miss your lives a lot since you saw I was live. You wanted to jump on. Oh, I'm so glad you did jump on. And I'm sad that you missed my lives a lot. They're Tuesday at 11 a.m., which would be 1:11 for you in the afternoon. So it depends on what you're doing. And then Thursday nights usually is the Creative Crush at 7:13, so 9:13 for you. And then Fridays at 3:33, so 5:33 for you. Yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes with the time difference to try and fit things in for everybody. But the beautiful thing is there's always the replays, and they're replayable on Facebook for 30 days, and then of course they're always there live on YouTube. And that's why I stream to both. So then we're going to put glue on these tops. I don't know what all this goober is. Crazy glue. And then I like to put this one down here, and this one over here, and the large one right here. Okay, and so that's how I build my flower. Well, actually, this one I did it differently, so it doesn't matter. You can do it any way you want. And I forgot my Wink of Stella. I really need to get doubles. Where's my Wink of Stella? Here we go. So we'll put the Wink of Stella on afterwards. But there is the flower like that. So a little bit tedious, but not too horrendous. All right, so then we're going to do some dimensionals on these. And on the other card, you can see, we'll go back out a little bit. On the other card, I did the green below, the mossy meadow below, but this time I think I'm going to do the mossy meadow on top. So we'll just flip flop it. We'll get some dimensionals out. And you can see where they overlap. I would not want to put dimensionals on this piece. So we're going to do it like this so I know where to put dimensionals. And you can use the dimensionals to kind of hold the pieces together too. And then we'll do one right here. All right, and if you are worried about them coming apart, you can always put some glue under there. All right, we're gonna do this right here like that. And then we're going to flip this over and put some dimensionals on that. So that one fits there. That doesn't fit there, so we're going to have to use some minis. All right. Oh, that's just the paper. We need the whole mini. There we go. And I think we could probably get one. Let's see, is it going to fit? I think it's just going to fit right there. And then right there. All right, and then we need dimensionals on each side of this one. And we're going to put a little mini dimensional. Actually, I think we're going to just trim a little piece off of here for that moth where it hangs off. So just a teeny tiny piece on the bottom, the tail end of the moth for where it will hang off. All right, so this one, we're going to put this on first because we want to make sure to cover that. Oop. All right, I put that in the wrong spot. We're going to put that over here, and we're going to put a dab of glue over here. There we go. Like that. And then we're going to put a dab of glue on here. And we're going to stick this up to there like that. And then we're going to tuck this a little ways under. Hold on. It'll go. I promise it'll go. There we go. All right. Like that. And then we can put our Wink of Stella on the flowers. And that will just give them that little bit of sparkle. And it's nice when if you have them inked, if they're inked flowers, then you really don't want to use it unless you want it to get kind of blended and turned kind of watercolorish. But when you're just doing it on cardstock, you can definitely bling it out with your Wink of Stella. Or if you have the shimmer brushes, we don't have shimmer brushes in these colors yet, so I am just using that. All right, so then we want to put this one on the inside. All right, and it's going to open up this way. You could also put paper on the inside if you wanted to. I've seen more and more people using their DSP on the inside, and that way they're using their DSP. All right, so there you go. So which one do you like, with the mossy meadow in front or the mossy meadow in back? Which one? It really gives it two different flavors, I think. Personally, I think that it's two totally different looks, even though it's the same card, the same layout. Having these two different flipped plus flipping these, so you can see this one I did a little lower, this one I did a little higher, but it's essentially the same idea. So I trust you like this card. If you have this set, give it a whirl, see what you think. So there is that card. Then I wanted to show you, we have something called a one sheet wonder, where you can take a 6x6 piece of paper of DSP and you can turn it into cards by using these pieces in different places. So for example, this one is this piece right here. And then I just used the embossing folder here, and then again stamp tone on tone around here. So love that. And then the world, you make the world a better place. And then you have these other die cuts and that moth. And then this one is these two pieces. You like the mossy meadow in front? Yeah, I kind of do too. I kind of do too. And so this one opens like that. I guess I forgot to show you. This one opened like that. And so this one is these two pieces. And then I added this wonderful bow. There are 4 ribbons that match this paper perfectly. This is the Secret Sea bordered open weave ribbon. This is the mossy meadow and gold. Let's see, what's it called? Mossy meadow and gold trim. All right, this one totally matches as well. Then this is the old olive specialty Rick Rack. And this is the Berry Burst shiny ribbon. And so all of those were great with this suite. Then this is these four squares, plus I added 2 squares from, yeah, the 4 squares, plus I added these 2 squares. So this is the DSP, and then I added the 2 cardstock squares, and then I matted them on white and then on Secret Sea. So you make the world a better place. All right, and I didn't do anything inside. And then this last one is these 2 pieces. So this is all 4 corners of this, and then I added this extra, but these are the 2 DSPs, and added some more and did a little knot, And then this is a Z-fold card. Okay, so those are just from the one sheet wonder of the 6x6. All right. Then at On Stage, we got to play with this suite, and here are some of the cards. We have one card from On Stage we're going to make that I hadn't finished, so I thought perfect thing. We made this card, all right, and it was on white cardstock, so there's one. So this is using one of the stamps for a background and then putting your die cuts on top of it. I liked that. This is using your stamp and then doing some brushing over it. Actually, I think we brushed first with the Peaceful Pine using the blending brushes, and then we stamped in the Golden Glow over it, and then we stamped on this. You can see I didn't stamp very well on that. And then this one has the DSP, and then two of those frames cut out but made to look longer, and then we had these other ones. So those 3 cards were from On Stage, where we got this little book and did them. And now this one is the one we're going to go ahead and do together. All right, so here is our card base, and then we have this piece of 2-tone cardstock that we're going to put on here. And it is 2-tone cardstock, but when you go to On Stage, they kind of do some different things to prep their materials. It was one big sheet that was printed on, and then you cut it all out. So, but this is the same as 2-tone cardstock, the dark side, Secret C. All right, and then where are the stamps? Here we go. So we need this stamp. We need a block. There we go. We're going to do that. And in Secret C, we're going to go around the edge of it. So where did I put my, here we go. We're going to go around the edge of this in the Secret C. As you can see here, they have the edges. They have some of this stamped around it, kind of like we did before. You can see I'm just doing some random stamping, some high, some low, and it will then just show up in between all of the die cuts. So, whoops, then we're going to take our blending brush and we're going to go around the edges and just kind of give it a little bit of a smoky feel. All right, so it's tone on tone, so it's just kind of giving it that smoky feel. You want to tap off so you don't have any blotches on your paper. Yeah, we just ran out of time and didn't get these made during the after hours crafting time that we always have it On Stage. And so I thought, oh, well, this is perfect to do for a live then. All right, so you can see how it's kind of darkened the edges a little bit. All right, so we're going to set that aside. And then they gave us a whole bunch of die cuts. So I didn't have to die cut everything. It's already given right here. All right, so, but what we did, finished with the Secret C. We're going to take the let's see, the Mossy Meadow. And Mossy Meadow. This is Mossy Meadow. So everything that's Mossy Meadow, we're going to add a little bit of color to it. Now I'm going to get my daubers because the brush can end up folding those up. And we don't want to have them folded up. Where is my Mossy Meadow? Oh, Mossy Meadow, Mossy Meadow. Where's Mossy Meadow? I don't see a Mossy Meadow. All right. I'm just going to grab a new one and I'm going to daub I'm going to just daub it to give it that little extra texture. All right, you can see how it kind of darkens it without tearing it up. So they just have it pretty much down the center of everything. But I don't want to tear these up, and these are just too delicate. If you had cardstock, these are not actual cardstock. If you had cardstock, you might be able to use it, but because it's a thinner paper, because it was printed on, it would tear. And I don't like to tear my stuff. So I'm going mainly up the middle and then detouring a little bit at times. All right. Oh, I just colored my finger. All right. Let's see. Then we're going to do that with the Peaceful Pine. And I need to grab a dauber for that one too. I probably already have a dauber for these colors, but we're going to move these out of the way. We're going to do the Peaceful Pine. Move these flower bits off to the side. There we go. So same thing with the Peaceful Pine. We're going to add just a little bit of color, tone on tone, as you have seen with the stamping that we've done. Tone on tone is just a great way to add a little more dimension to your images, to your card fronts. Just gives it that little extra oomph. All right, here we go. Last one. So these are all dies that are in the set. You would normally do it on either two-tone paper or on cardstock. I tend to use cardstock when I'm die cutting things because they're just a little stiffer. All right, and let me clean off my fingernail again. All right, I love these ink pads. I love how easy they are to open and close. Can I just say that? I love them. All right, now we have these. So we're going to put them over there for a moment to kind of dry. So you can see how it just added some dimension to it. All right, and then we're going to bring back our little silicone mat. Oh, we have this one too. We're going to bring back our silicone mat and we're going to put together those flowers. Here is for our stamping. So we're going to turn all these over. Pretend that they are either two-tone cardstock or that they are, there we go. So we're going to put our big ones together. Oops, sorry. That's the two big ones. Little one, little one. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right. Those look like the same. I may have accidentally used the wrong one on one of the other cards. That is a possibility. That day we were all a little bit confused how to make these flowers. All right, so then, oh, I don't have the, oh, I lost those little, let's see, do I have them over here? Maybe they're still in the envelope. No. Are they in here? No. All right, I won't be able to finish those little flowers because I'll have to die cut some centers for these two, but we'll get them started. I thought we had them. I remember seeing them, but those little bits, yeah, you got to really hang on to them and pay attention to them. All right, so we're going to do the opposite way this time. We're going to do the fat one on the bottom. Let's see, this glue. All right, so we're going to do fat one on the bottom this time. There's two of the same. And then this one is still the bottom one, because I can tell in the picture. All right, then we're going to bring in our take your pick tool. And we're going to put that there. We're going to put that there. Oh, come on. And then we're going to turn this going this way. And we're going to turn this going this way. So cute flowers, really. What do you think of the flowers? Do you think you would bother with them, or would you figure out something else and just not use these dies? I thought I would not use them, but you'll see on most of my cards, I actually did use them. I was kind of surprised at myself for it. There we go. I'm missing some, so I'm just going to, I have two small and one big, so somewhere along the lines I lost my little centers, so I'll have to add those to the flowers. But we do have one big one. We have a small one. And we have a small one. And I'll just have to die cut those. No problem. Okay, so we have those done. Then we need to stamp on here, and this is where you'll see that it's a little bit tough to stamp on it already die cut, and why I typically don't. We're using our Golden Glow, one of our new in colors. We're going to have to wash this one because it has berry burst on it. We're going to do Golden Glow. Ooh. Let's see how I do. Let's see, did I get it? Oh, pretty much about as good as I stamped it and die cut it the last time, so that's good. And then we need our Secret C. That's not Secret C. There we go. Secret C for our sentiment, same sentiment. You're an amazing friend. Beth, you're an amazing friend. But I won't send you this card because you don't care for ferns. I'll have to send you a different card. All right, so let's go ahead and put this together then. All right, so I'm going to put these on here first because some of them are going to get trimmed off. All right. So let's see where we have them. All right. Eek. All right, so this one is going to be over here. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on just some of the thicker parts. And I typically go down the center, and then I find wherever there's a thicker part, but mainly down the center. And that's going like that. All right, and then one of these will go from the other corner. Actually, I'm going to do from up here. There we go. Kind of just going down. All right, and this isn't even all the way on there. So it's like that too. All right, and then we have our green, our mossy meadow one, fiddlehead, which really totally makes sense to me. This is supposed to come out of there. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's called a fiddlehead? That makes sense. I'd never known that. So I thought that was a pretty cool name for it. All right, and then we have this one. All right, and then we have one of these. And we'll just use the mat. And most of that is on there. All right, then we have this one again. So I would do this card again, but using cardstock, and then it would have a lot more texture than this one has. So that one's like that. And the glue, you can see some of the glue as I lay it down, but it does dry clear. So that's why you don't see me fussing about it. And then I can always use the eraser if I need to. And then this one goes over this way. Oh, I think it was supposed to kind of go down this way, and I got it too high. So I think I'm going to have this one come from there, and then this one can fill in that gap. All right, so that's what we'll do. Just flip flop it. All right. And then we have this one. And it's going to come down here. All right, and then what we do is we're going to flip it over and trim off all the hang off. So everything that hangs off gets trimmed off. And that is okay. I've done that many times with lots of different things, so don't panic if you're doing that. You're like, oh my gosh, I have to cut this stuff off. Yes, and it's okay. You want to cut as close as possible. All right, so that one is still hanging over a little bit right there. And right here. And right here. So a little bit tricky when you're not dealing with cardstock. All right, so now we're going to glue this down on here. We're just kind of pretending this is all two-tone paper and then cardstock. And I just glued it upside down, but oh well, not going to worry about it. Oh my goodness, I did not pay attention to the direction like I should have. So these two are going to get glued together. So I'm going to do that, like that. And then they're going on dimensionals. So then we're going to bring in our dimensionals like this. Right. And that's going to, I'm going to drop mine a little lower because I had accidentally flipped it the wrong way. Like that. And then we're going to add the flowers on. So I'm going to flip my flowers over so I can put glue on the back. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to keep them right side up. I'm going to pick them up with my tweezers and then put the glue on the back. Here we go. So we'll put some glue on the back, and this one we'll put right here. Kind of hide some of that extra space. And again, I'm going to put the flower centers on these ones that that don't have the flowers, or I might find it when I'm cleaning up. And then I'm going to drop this one down, down here. It stuck to me. All right, put this one over here. And this one over here. And then this one, which will have a center, do over here. And this one goes over here. All right. And then we have our dots. Oh, we didn't put dots on the other ones. We should put dots on the other ones. Although I've gone a little bit over my hour, so I will hustle up here because I still got to show you some of those other ones. So they mixed the colors. So they did one of these here and here. And then we have, oh, they did a whole lot. We have one up here. And then we have another one. Let's see, there. Another one, let's see, over here. And then they did do a clear one there. And then another clear one up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They went with the odd number. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And then we have another, we'll do another green one. Oh, let's see. We'll do another of the Secret Sea over here. All right. So there is our other card. All right, so this one looks a lot more 3D because it's made with cardstock. This was made from printed paper, but you can take this idea still and create the card. All right, so let's look at all the other cards that I have from this set. Let me get this stuff out of the way so we don't have anything sticking to us and sticking to our cards. All right, so I showed you these from on stage. All right, whoop, I guess we should zoom out a little. All right, those from on stage. excuse me. These are the ones from the One Sheet Wonder. All right. And then these are the two that we made today. And then I also made this one, and I used the Berry Burst foil on that one. And then of course that beautiful embossing folder. And I just butted these two pieces of paper together and then added the golden glow down the center. And this is die cut from vellum. All right, so there's one. And then here's that one with the moth. This was inspired also by Lena Gersa. She had cut out the moth, and I thought, oh, that's a great idea, and then used the paper that it came from. So I love that. This was another one from Lena Gersa, but I think I would change this a little bit. I didn't care for how that turned out. I think she had a larger circle behind it. That might have looked a little better, but I do love this fun fold with that. All right. And then this is the embossing folder. And I colored it with the Stampin' Blends. I colored it with the Stampin' Blends, but that was after I had tried doing it with daubers. So first I swiped the Secret Sea across the base, and then I daubed on it and then ran it through again, and that didn't look as well, but it works. And then this one, I swiped the Secret Sea through, then I daubed all the different colors, and then I ran it through, and it didn't work as well either. I feel like this one definitely worked the best. All right, so those are all my cards. Oh my gosh, can you believe how many cards we have from this set? And I don't even feel like I'm done. I am totally crushing on this suite. So you'll just have to let me know what you think of the suite and how you like it. Beth has already said that ferns aren't quite her thing, but the colors are beautiful, and I love the pop of Berry Burst. Oh my goodness. So now I want you to go give your supply some love, and I'll see you next Thursday for another Junebug's Creative Crush, and you'll have to come see what I'm crushing on. Bye-bye.